The Smack is back. We have returned. Union Smack is in the house. What's going on? NXT UK episode 86 review is happening. Before we get to any of that, my quarantined friend over there, the ever sanitary Maniac Masked Tenant. What's going on, man? Welcome back. How you been? Where can everyone catch you?
I've been bored, hygienic, and that's about it, Travis. As usual, you can catch me on Twitter at The Perfect Tenant. You can find our official merchandise on our online store at unionsmack.bigcartel.com, and you can while away the quarantine hours with my book, The Undertaker, A Trip Down Death Valley, which you can purchase from completelynovel.com right now.
You love having that quarantine excuse to plug the book. I know every time you do it now, I can just hear you light up on the inside. I don't blame you. If I had a book, I'd be doing it too. That's right. I'm in the introduction, so get your asses over there. Pick it up. Unismack.bigcartel.com. All the goodness. Follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. That red button right down below. Hit it. All the goodness. Retro Gaming, Pro Wrestling, Heavy Metal Podcast. All the nerdy goodness. We are back. I got to say, for all these empty arena shows going on with AEW, WWE, and stuff, these aren't A+ shows we're watching with NXT UK, but it's so refreshing to see an audience in a pro wrestling show for once.
Yeah, even if you don't always hear them. As we found out throughout this episode.
Really? Because I thought maybe we're gonna not butt heads, but disagree already, because I thought they were more livelier for this episode than last week's. That's not saying much, but
really?
Yeah.
Wow. I struggle, and I watch it with my earphones in, like plugged into the PS4 controller, so I can hear everything, and I could hardly hear them. There were a few pops here and there. The main event they came alive for, but
right.
I thought for the majority of this they were just dead.
I'm not saying they hung on to every breath, but they were. It seemed like there were human beings in the crowd for this one, as opposed to last week's episode we covered, Matt.
Yeah, well, anything's better than last week's episode, which was a big pile of dog shit.
You want to get right into it?
I mean, yeah.
Let's do it.
We can if you want.
This week kicked off, pretty much, piggybacking off last week's episode with the attack on Dani Luna, and they wasted no time in giving the match this week. Dani Luna, Kaylee Ray. Honestly, I can't even remember if this is for the title. I don't think it was for the title, was it?
No, it was. It was non-title, which I think helped Dani Luna because she lost so quickly and in such a convincing style. I think had this been for the title, people would have looked at her and gone, she's never a contender in the near future.
I'm tired of saying that. I'm tired of us beating a dead horse, but that's more and more every week. I feel like as our episodes continue with the underutilization of certain talent. As soon as Kaylee Ray popped on my television this week, man, I just star power immediately. She got a good reaction, even though she was a heel. People came to their feet for her entrance. It's like, finally, we're seeing a star out there. And she's been doing this for years, but I feel like now, especially with the PC and all that, she's got herself into the best shape she's ever been. She's obviously a veteran, wisdom, just the total package. And it's a shame what's being done with her, which is fucking nothing, basically.
Agreed. And I think, booking aside, I think she's rapidly becoming the Pete Dunne of the women's division. In that she's dependable, she's reliable. People want to see her. They want to see her get beat, obviously, but secretly you don't, because she wanted to have that title for a while. And she's my favourite woman wrestler in the world today, I think.
Ooh, there you go. Look at that bold statement. And Dani Luna, for what it's worth, I mean, there's a lot to work with there, in my opinion. We're just not there yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you know, I think I've seen quite a bit of Dani Luna now, and again, just like Toni Storm and all those names we mentioned last week when we discussed this, she gives more on the indie scene than she does in NXT UK. I think maybe it's because of how she's booked. And WWE don't want her to exert her power on television, but I felt like this match was just such a wasted chance and a wasted opportunity to make a new star.
Right when...
And instead they had to focus on the same old people.
Right when this match started getting going, it ended. Just that fast.
Yeah, exactly. This was such a flat finish, Travis.
It was.
And it felt like there was more to come, but they'd been instructed to cut it short for no apparent reason. But Danny Luna looked completely baffled when Kaylee Ray tried to hook her up for the gory bomb.
Yeah.
It was like she was thinking, like, what comes next, and suddenly finished, nowhere done.
No clue why that audible was called. I don't know if it was time restraints, but it's a tape fucking show. So once again, my mind's blown. Maybe maybe the audible was called as, whoa, let's not give her too much, because I don't get the logic at all behind this. But either way, I mean, Kaylee Ray got the decisive win, absolutely out of nowhere with the gory special. Does that move need tweaked? Does she need a new finisher?
I mean, she probably does, or rename it. You know, rename it something that makes sense along with her character.
Because especially, I mean, not even newer fans, but like fans that have watched for at least 10 years, they don't know who the fuck Gory Guerrero is still, really. They don't know why it's called a gory special. That's confusing.
Exactly. I think at one point when she started using it, they called it the Widow's Peak. Right. But, you know, to tie in with the whole, Black Widow's deadly spider killer thing. But I think either a new finisher that you can completely rename, or just rename this something more fitting.
Two things on my notes. I detest Danny Luna's music, and it looked like she doesn't like it either. Like, she didn't think it fit her character. It was very pop punkish and just cringy, and sounded like it should be on like a Nickelodeon teen show.
Yeah, same as Brookside. Whenever we see her again, like, I don't know why they do this with young women. They've got, maybe they look at the hair and the outfits and they think, oh, smiley, children's TV. But it's really not. She can be so much darker and so much more serious. And entrance music that fits that would be very nice.
Agree. And number two, I've never seen Piper Niven run so fast in my life when she came down for the save. I mean, she bolted out there like the Ultimate Warrior. My God.
Yeah, agreed. I will say, the one thing I didn't like about this was the structure, and obviously what they did to Danny Luna. I mean, I am quite annoyed. Obviously, she couldn't go over Kaylee Ray on television, at least. But have they structured this match like Progress structured Danny Luna versus Toni Storm a few months back at a Progress chapter? I can't remember what it was. It's on Tenant Talk, G-Plug. Just to give Danny Luna a fighting chance and then have Kaylee Ray beat her, it would have done so much more. She could have eventually taken that and built on it and be built as like the next challenger, maybe after Piper Niven and whoever's next after Piper Niven. Because let's be honest, there's no one lined up after Piper Niven.
If anybody, I'd feel like it'd be Effie Valkyrie. That's really all we got left. Who they haven't squandered in a fucking enhancement match already in a week. It's crazy they're doing this too, because this reminds me of what WCW used to do. WWF is guilty of it back in the day. It's these two women, Kaylee Ray and Danny Luna. That's a main event in any UK indie over there, anywhere right now.
Agreed. And yet NXT UK just see it as, well, maybe a 1 minute 30, 1 minute 40 enhancement match to aid the storyline heading into what isn't going to be a takeover Dublin and no UK Women's Championship match.
But on the other end of what I said, devil's advocate, you could say that for almost any match in NXT UK. That's a case of it is what it is. It's Progress light. It's essentially what WWF did with the territories back in the day. They cherry picked all the top brass, and that's, I can't really bitch about that if it's what it is, and I know it is going in, but I can be unhappy about it, and I can be not complacent about it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like this mentality they've got of doing that is part of the reason why everything is starting to feel a bit stale.
Yeah.
And, in our summation, I'll talk about that a bit more later on, and what I now do with NXT UK after, I don't know, April the 24th, after the last episode from Coventry airs. But, the new stars are there waiting to be made, Travis. We see them. Yeah, they're just kicked to the gutter every fucking week.
The old stars are still there waiting to be thrown a bone still.
You you say old stars, I don't recall Piper Niven ever really doing anything.
Well, I can't. It's funny because I can't ever recall probably the most over guy there right now, Trent Seven's UK title reign. I don't know when that reign happened because I don't remember getting that.
God, if you know what, he's got to be next. He's got to be next.
Based on what we saw in this week's main event, which we'll get to, Dragunov is the wrong call right now, but we'll get there. We will get there. I'm sure you're in agreement with where I'm going with that. But yeah, that was that, and they're building to the Piper and Kaylee Ray blow off. Yippity yo ki! I cannot wait.
Ooh, we can tell how excited you are.
Was this the WWE.com exclusive of Finn Balor after last week? Yeah. I don't want to sound like the biggest dork in the world, but this gave me chills when he was, and I loved how this was shot too. It had that realism to it. Like he walked right through catering. They showed catering. They showed baby faces and heels eating, and just I love this vibe it gave off. How he's not wanted there. Balor is not wanted there. Blah blah. And finally, after they followed along, it ended the stare down with him and Tyler Bate, and this was great. Not one word was said between the two until they showed Tyler Bate on this week in a second, but. I even texted you right away. I was like, man, that gave me legit chills. That was great.
Yeah, it was very well done. And I like the before he even got to Tyler Bate, like the slowness of him, just the cockiness of walking through like the backstage area and just like looking at everyone, like not giving a fuck. And it felt like you remember when Vince McMahon walked through the backstage area before his limo blew up, and everyone was watching.
Did you think Balor was going to get killed by an explosion? Is that where you're going?
Not killed, but it felt like there was something more that was going to happen before he got to Tyler Bate. It's like the eeriness of it. It was very, very well done.
I didn't understand the logic of him going over to quote the three toughest guys right now in Gallus and just staring at him, and Gallus did nothing. If I was trying to build up Gallus would have just jumped his ass, right? Correct?
Yep, correct. But no, there's no plans for Gallus, so there's no reason why WWE would have wanted them to look strong.
No plans for Gallus, even though they closed the show victorious on the Fade to Black this week. That's exactly where we're at with this promotion right now.
Honestly, yeah, they look great in the main event. We'll get to. They main evented. They closed the show. You will not see Gallus in a ring again before April 26th.
Oh God, that's brutal. I'm laughing because I'm going insane from their booking. That's what I'm doing. It's Jesus. But no, after this they showed cocaine dealer shirt Tyler Bate. My God, what an ensemble! And some fancy posh hotel running into tea time. Literally with Sid Scala and Johnny Saint. Going up and say, hey, lads, what's the deal? I want Balor, blah, blah, blah. And say, no, here's the joke's on you, pal. You're going to be in a battle fucking royal. There you go. That was what I got from it.
Yeah, and the Johnny Saint Sid Scala thing, it's old now. Can we either do something with that storyline-wise or just, I don't know. Obviously, they can't scrap it after all this time, Travis, but I think it's getting that. For me, it's old, it's done. And I want to move on from it.
I'd like to see some of this sort of storyline now, especially this quote veteran elitist where some gimmick match Ono wins and he becomes GM. It's just an excuse to get him out of my wrestling ring and watch him in ring and just and a heel GM. We haven't seen that in a little while, I guess. Shake things up.
Yeah,
I feel like he'd be entertaining.
Well, I'm still banking. I'm still banking on the Sid Scala heel turn thing on Johnny Saint. I mean, that's there to be written.
We've only been asking for that for literally a year and a half since the show started.
I think, I think since November 2018, when they made Sid Scala the assistant to the general manager, we've been saying he's going to turn on Johnny. Yeah. He's still waiting for it, but it is still there.
How did you feel about this little backstage thing with Bate wanting Balor and getting a battle royal instead?
It felt like a joke to me. It was like Tyler Bate asking for one of the biggest matches that WWE could put on. In the next few months, Tyler Bate, Finn Balor. That even Finn Balor can't make that boring. But instead, it was just nah, we're going to keep that from everyone and you probably for the foreseeable future now.
And on top of it, we're going to diminish your chances by 19%.
Yeah. You got a 1 in 20 chance of actually getting back with Walter. Could they have spelled out the fact that we don't really have anything for you either, Tyler? If you want to go and stand in the corner by Gallus, we might get back to you in a few months' time.
Where did that take us to next?
You started to sound like me now. When I watched this, it was just like a constant stream of.
Well, pretty soon here,
God.
there's going to be a little segment where I get thoroughly excited, but I don't think it's quite yet. But I think you know what I'm talking about.
I think I have an idea. Next up was what I thought was another vignette for Aoife Valkyrie, and then it transitioned nicely into Nina Samuels in a makeup chair, watching. I knew you were going to do that. Watching it on her phone.
We literally, the wrestling gods listen to us. Guys, we'll pull the curtain back. We recorded last week's episode like 3 days ago. So it's like the closest we ever done this. Like 3 days ago, I literally just asked for Nina Samuels to be back on my TV. Lo and behold, Moses and Jesus and Nazareth, somebody was listening. And not only was she back, she wasn't doing any goofy shit. She wasn't in the mud. She wasn't stumbling and falling down in the dirt. No, she was being a bitch and cutting a nice little, not a top-notch promo, but a decent little promo for her. And yeah, I liked it. I don't think she's going to win, but...
No, not going to win. Are you looking forward to this match, though, Travis?
No.
From what we've seen from Aoife Valkyrie so far, and knowing what Nina Samuels sort of does on NXT UK?
The only reason I'm looking forward to it at all is just to see Nina Samuels getting some exposure, because the more people find out about her, the better, I feel like. But no, I'm dreading it because I know it's just a vehicle to showcase not the person I want to be showcased.
Yeah, agreed. And more of them fucking cringy poses next week.
And look, we're not just like, it's not that we're just like biased fans watching it. Like it's kayfabe. Like, well, I'm not a fan of them, so I'm not. No, it's like, we've gone over it time and time again. Go back in our episodes. We're not going to do it here again. Why we don't see the Aoife Valkyrie hype. I don't even know if WWE sees hype. I haven't seen one soul on social media talk about Aoife Valkyrie recently at all, period, since she's debuted. Have you? I mean.
Yeah. Nope. And they've put so much into her as well with that. Them vignettes must have cost thousands and thousands of pounds to film. And she debuted to crickets. No one really knew who she was, unless you've gone to Ireland and you're stuck with like OTT and I can't remember the other promotions.
That's so niche. You cannot rely on that.
Exactly. And off the back of her sort of fame in Ireland, it's like they've put thousands into these vignettes in the hope that she looks like a massive star. And don't get me wrong, she did in the vignettes. And then she came out, and it was just like a balloon deflated.
Here's a question I have for you, Matt. Now, shocker, guys, it may come as a surprise. I don't live in England. Matt does, okay? OTT, is that a niche product over there, or is that a pretty hot property? Like, it's one of the more talked about promotions?
In Ireland, obviously, it's the most talked about. It's the Irish Progress. But, unless you subscribe to OTT On Demand, which I thoroughly, suggest people do, if you're looking for something completely different and something actually wrestling orientated, then yeah. Because, you've got matches like Devlin versus David Starr and Walter and, just the Jordan Devlin we should be getting in NXT UK.
Right.
But as far as like being niche, then yeah, it is. Yeah, in England, you wouldn't get a lot of wrestling fans going to NXT UK tapings or Progress or ICW, events talking about over the top wrestling.
I think that's a reason I love European wrestling in the modern era so much, is because it's so old school in the fact that it's not like it is in the States where AEW and WWE is nationwide, right? It's still like the old school territories over there. Like, yeah, in Ireland, OTT is like the Progress, but in the UK, Progress is like the fucking Progress. It's not about, I love it. I love the dedication to where you live.
And obviously,
WXW.
ICW is the pro.
Germany.
WXW is Germany.
Yeah. But still, I'm saying WXW,
yeah,
Germany.
Scotland.
Exactly. I love it, man. I love it. And I see, I think Triple H and William Regal loved that initially too, when this was their little brainchild. And they had this whole other concept of what this brand was going to be. I don't think it was this. I think right now, at the end of the day, if it was really at the end of the day still Regal and Triple H pulling the strings on this brand, it wouldn't be like this. Not to, completely beat a dead horse, but
no, yeah.
I know Regal still has a hell of a lot of input, but the buck by no means stops with Regal when it comes to final decisions for the booking of NXT UK, I feel like.
Oh no, it doesn't. And you can see like what it is now compared to the 2017 tournament, the 2018 tournament. It's not what they had in mind originally, but you have to roll with the punches and work the best of a bad situation.
Maybe it's because we've been quarantined and I'm just going to wax intellectual and go deep on it. It makes me wonder if we should have even gotten this as a brand at the end of the day now anyway, because the tournaments in the beginning, and I think what was so magical about it is because these felt like all-star games of all these promotions we just mentioned, right? You know what I mean? It was these big hybrid. But if you do that weekly and every show's an all-star game, you kind of end up where we're at now, right? With misused talent.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like if you didn't do this every week, if you just kept it to like 2-3 times a year specials, then I don't think the United Kingdom Championship would matter as much. So what am I tuning in to either see a championship that I've seen twice this year?
Yeah,
it's not important to me, or am I tuning in to see a title that away from NXT UK has basically become the third singles title on NXT television just to keep it in the public eye?
I know earlier in the show you kind of hinted at, after April 24th or whatever the specific date, there's some things you would change. Is being not weekly one of them?
For a bit, for a little while. Obviously, because we don't know where the world's going to be in a month and stuff, but not being weekly for a little bit, I think would help. My suggestions at the end of the show.
Yeah. Somehow the magical aura of Nina Samuels has made us go into a boardroom meeting about the company. I don't know how that happened.
Well, it's nice to see somebody who's thinking about it, because Shawn Michaels is obviously doing his thing and Triple H is obviously giving him a pat on the back, and yet I feel like under Shawn Michaels' tenure we've gone from the shows it's like an incline. They've got better and better. The quality was going up and up and up and up, and then suddenly they hit a peak, and now we're dropping down the other side, Travis. It's like we've gone back to 4 matches a card, which is too much for me still, in 55 minutes. We've gone back to barely any character development, stories that don't last or don't mean anything.
One actual competitive match an episode, as opposed to 3 other enhancement matches.
Exactly. We're dropping back into, let me think. Oh, we're dropping back into
December 2018. We keep going back to that month.
Yeah.
Holy shit, what's happening?
It's not good enough.
After this segment with Nina Samuels, this was now time for Ridge Holland and Joseph Connors, correct?
Yes. When Joseph Connors came out, there's always a distinctive sigh, from my side.
Around the world, on everyone's television, across the globe, you can hear that collective sigh.
And then Ridge Holland came out, and I thought, oh, good, quick squash match, get him over, and done.
No, what? Apparently these guys were told to go out. Apparently they were told to go out there and be Omega and Okada.
How many days did this last for?
It's not so much. Yes, it went way too long.
But,
It's not so much the time, Matt. I even texted you while watching. For me, and just like you, it was the amount of offense the guy that wasn't supposed to be showcased got in. On a guy 3 times his size that was. And for what it's worth, at the very beginning of this, like the first 2 minutes, I was digging this match because this Ridge Holland in this looked like an OVW Brock Lesnar to me when he was squashing guys, just pancaking them and just stiff as shit. But then, I don't know, like there was that shitty miscommunication, you know what I'm talking about, where Connors went to drop kick the knee and missed by like 2 inches.
Oh,
and he still sold it. Yes. Botchamania at its finest right
what
here.
a fucking idiot to sell that.
And then right after that, not even 10 seconds, he like did a miscommunication and Ridge Holland spilled like a big dipshit dump truck to the outside. And then I think that's where he tweaked his left knee injury. And by the end of it, I'm pretty sure it was legit because I don't think he's that good at selling. He's Ridge Holland. And I think that took a lot out of the match.
I haven't heard anything along the lines of he was actually injured, but you know, he may very well have been, and it just didn't come out. He did sell well. I think it drained the crowd that Joseph Connors got so much in, and that he had to be the man to give Ridge Holland his longest match. Like, why? What if you wanted to build Ridge Holland up as a true monster, a true badass? Give him Trent Seven in a 15-minute match. Trent Seven could carry that much more ably than Joseph Connors could, and still make Ridge Holland at the end of it.
What blows my mind with this is we've gone how many episodes? Literally last episode too, we bitched about the mistreatment of guys like Ligero and Travis Banks, and not just that they lose, but just these weeks and months on ends vignettes and trying to build them back up again, right? Just like they've been doing with Connors. But why apply logic when you're just going to make Connors the one that looks the most out of all three of those guys? What the fuck? I'm with you.
I mean, the best thing they could do now is get Joseph Connors his fucking takeover spot, end the storyline, end the gimmick, and get him out. Because honestly, he drains me every time I have to watch him.
Now, for what it's worth, you got to admit, when Ridge Holland gets his power spots in, when they're done right and crisp, they look pretty brutal.
Yeah, they do it. He's got such a good, like, I forgot the fucking word. It's such a good
potential.
Do you know, that's the one, potential. So much potential there, and the look and the he could stand up to Walter quite easily, built well. And I think, I think we're going to see that in the next few weeks, I believe. And it won't end well for Ridge Holland. But I don't know. It's like they're doing the right back with him. They're putting him in short matches where he doesn't get a chance to really develop himself.
Well, they did.
And obviously then you give him a match like this. Go on.
Well, they did put him in short matches.
Yeah, they did until this, and then it was just like they were relying on Joseph Connors to carry this, and it's the wrong man. Like the experiment failed 2 years ago, Travis. The Joseph Connors experiment. So why are we still here? Why are we in 2020, March of 2020, still talking about Joseph Connors?
Dare I say that experiment failed out of the gate?
Yeah, well, I can't argue with that. There was a glimmer of hope against Mark Andrews in the tournament where I watched it and I thought, do you know what? If they can showcase that Joseph Connors, then he might have a future. But then, they just shit the bed with it afterwards. And Connors doesn't do himself any favours. He's not the most charismatic man. He's solid in the ring, but he's not the greatest. He's just boring to watch.
I've also figured out what Ridge Holland's theme music reminds me of. I tweeted out watching this that it reminds me of every soundtrack to every Jason Statham action film. I hate his entrance music so much. It makes me like I'm watching a Fast and the Furious movie or something. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's where we disagree. I quite like it.
Ugh.
Among all the other generic entrance music that we've got, like the Kenny Williams and the Danny Lunas, etc., I quite like his entrance music.
Well, I'm glad you like Kenny Williams' entrance because you're going to get a chance to talk about it here in a second.
There it is again, that sound. But first, before that, Travis, Mark Andrews has been attacked backstage in one of the most illogical and poorly acted angles I think we've ever seen.
What did you do? It's a Mickey Mouse? No, it's Dave Mastiff screaming like a lady. It really was. I couldn't believe it.
Who knew that Dave Mastiff had that noise inside him?
He kind of, if you think about it though, and I'm not being a dick, and this might eliminate us from ever having Dave Mastiff as a guest, but he does kind of got that Pillsbury Doughboy thing where you think he might make that sound if you poke him in the belly. I mean, Mama!
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
Either way, that was, I laughed. And that happened at the beginning of this pretty much. And as soon as that happened, in no way could I get back on the rails and take this serious. And I think Dave Mastiff literally just made it impossible for me to just, it was bad.
It was so cringeworthy as well. It was like, even all the people in it didn't care about it.
No.
It's like Mark Andrews just wanted it to be over. The Hunt was just. Did you see the Hunt just walk past?
Yeah.
Just look down at him and think, why are we even here?
Well, fuck me. It's not our skit yet.
From behind.
The only thing that's
Seven.
Yeah, Trent Seven just he was drunk or something. He's hey.
And you know, he wasn't. Mark Andrews wasn't even unconscious. So how do you not see who attacked you from behind?
He was too busy keeping that sweet jacket clean. He was distracted.
You and that jacket, Christ. Let's see if we can get you one for Christmas.
The only redeeming part about this skit for me was Flash Morgan Webster's jacket, and that's all I got to say about it. Up next, do we have Cassius Ohno and Kenny Williams?
We had an Ilya Dragunov vignette.
Oh, we did. That's right.
Which was quite well done. Yep. I mean, there's not much to say about that, Travis. It was maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yep. Was the A Kid and Noam Dar thing before or after the match with Ohno? I can't remember.
That was after the match.
Okay, so up next was Ohno and Kenny Williams, correct?
Yes. Not a match I wanted to see. I believe we saw this at the Download Festival last year. I mean, obviously people can correct me if I'm wrong. It's all in the upcoming book, NXT UK Year 1, available to you in the next few months. Cheap plug. But I didn't particularly want this again. You know, Cassie, why is he not losing weight? Like, why is no one pointing this out to him that you look like a bag of shit?
Maybe it's like an Owens or Mick Foley deal. Like, that's just the gimmick. I don't know.
But we've seen him as Chris Hero. We know how good he is now. It's like, imagine if he dropped, I don't know, 30, 40 pounds. Imagine how good and how well he could hang then. I just don't understand it.
And I get where you're going. Guys, look, we're not in the business of fat shaming. I don't believe in that. But the deal is, this is pro wrestling, okay? Aesthetic is a big part of the game. I dare you to find one person who would say they wouldn't be able to take Ohno more serious if he got in shape. You couldn't make that argument.
But his height, you know, his skill, even his athletic ability, which would be heightened if he lost weight. I just don't believe that he's ever looked at himself in the mirror and thought, do you know what, I'm at the peak of my physical prime.
What if he wakes up every day and was like, man, I look great. I'm going with it.
That's worrying, isn't it?
You know what really bugged the piss out of me, and it's just kind of state of affairs once again, to bigger picture. Once again, twice in one episode. I can't imagine why dives are nullified in 2020 after watching a Kenny Williams match. That's all he fucking does. And when you do them, every other move, they mean nothing, and they mean as much as a headlock.
I can't disagree with it. I think that's now 90% of Kenny Williams' arsenal. It's like dive here, dive there, back elbow dive, springboard dive, senton. It's relentless. And after a while, it's just no wonder people aren't buying into Kenny Williams, either backstage or in the audience. It's just like there's a muted hush that goes across the crowd now when he comes out. And, you know, It's the same old shit for 2 years.
all due respect to Kenny Williams, I've never gone to wrestling school, but watching this match was like watching someone's fourth ever match where they couldn't help it. Just keep going to the top. Look, and I'm being serious. Some of the greatest high flyers, even in the modern era right now. You got your Dragon Lees, you got all those guys, Banditos, all those guys do that. Pentagon and Ray Phoenix come to mind immediately. Probably the two best. They mix it up. That's not all they fucking do. Rey Mysterio didn't just do the springboards and the dives. And I'm not saying they were technical magicians, but they mixed it up. They made it mean something when they did it. Even Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix, for yes, as high spotty as they are, they still mixed it up. I'm sorry. This was really sad to watch. It was like, oh, I'm back on TV. Finally, I'm back on fucking TV. Got to get all my shit in. That's all it came off to me.
And I could have swore it annoyed Cassius Ohno as well. Because he smashed him with that Dream Crusher.
Yeah.
But I felt that when he connected with that elbow.
Ono was stiff as shit in this match. And I'm not saying he was bad in this and he puts in bad performances or he phones it in. It's just, why is he on my TV when I watch it? And what I mean by that is just he's in the wrong role. He needs, like we say all the time, he needs to just, if he's going to keep himself in this kind of shape, just be in the PC. And it's not like credibility or resume wise, he's really elevating anyone. He's Cassius fucking Ono. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody knows who Chris Hero was at the end of the day. The majority of people have no clue who that was. So going off of just Cassius Ohno's career, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I can't disagree. And something about this match felt wrong, Travis. I don't know what it was. I can't put my finger on it. It just felt wrong watching it, you know?
It really did feel like Ono was irritated. Like it was like Regal and Goldberg on Nitro all over again. Not that much of a massacre, but still. Up next, it's not Radzi. Where has Radzi gone, Matt?
I don't know, but he can stay there, wherever he is.
Yeah.
I know, and do you know what? I know this was recorded, a couple of weeks ago. Radzi was actually on a reality show over here called Dancing with the Stars, which is basically,
Christ.
I forgot what you call it over there. Oh fuck, I can't remember. But no, it wasn't. You call it Dancing with the Stars over there. We call it Dancing on Ice over here. So it's basically Dancing with the Stars, but ice skating. Okay, and he was on that over here for a while. Well, so I'm thinking maybe he had an injury or something, during that. But I'm glad Radzi's not about.
Wait a minute. Put on the brakes. So you're telling me the Radzi is nursing a figure skating injury?
He might have been. And if you don't believe me, go on YouTube and search up one of his performances. He dressed up like Shrek in one of his performances with the big green mask and everything. It was hideous.
Why you do this to me? What's this new guy's name? Isaiah Williams?
I think so, yeah. I've never seen him before. I assumed he'd come over from NXT to fill in for Radzi for this leg of shows, but I'm perfectly happy for him to stay for as long as he likes.
I mean, he literally said 3 words, so I can't judge if he's good or not yet. I was just so taken aback not to see our sweet little Radzi. He's been, say what you want, he's been an OG. He's been there for a while now. It's kind of the staple, backbone of that company.
Yeah, but sometimes you need a transplant, Sometimes a new organ's needed.
Finally getting to know A-Kid a little bit more. Getting some words with him. Interrupted by apparently Sherlock Holmes. I don't know what the fuck Noam Dar was wearing, but my God, dude, you just never button the top button, no matter what you're wearing, unless you're a priest.
Do you know what? His outfit didn't annoy me as much as his performance and his voice and his speaking. And it's like, it was so cringe-worthy. I sat here cringing when he started speaking French to A-Kid. And, his voice, it could break a window, couldn't it, if he screamed?
He really sounds like he has learning deficiencies when he talks. I'm sorry. It's bad. We're honest. They don't listen to us for these softball fucking segments. They want the truth, and that's what we're going to give them. It was bad. Never let this man speak. Please, why does he not have a Zelina Vega type or somebody like that is beyond me. My God. Yeah. And when they did it, their bright idea was Alicia Fox.
He needs someone because this is just, it's horrible. So I never thought I'd actually like look at a part of Noam Dar's all around, game and think that's absolutely horrible because he's very good in the ring, but I think you messaged me on Twitter and said he speaks like he's deaf.
He does. Helen Keller, Dar. No, it's 205 all over again. Was this? They always did this on 205 Live with him. They always put him in a backstage segment with Alicia Fox and let him talk. And they highlight his worst feature. And I don't understand it. Why do you sign these guys to showcase their worst shit? Baffling. Terrible. And I have no interest in seeing this match after this. And I didn't have that much either way to begin with because I'm not a huge Noam Dar fan. And it is what it is. It's just to kill time. Filler, I feel like.
I also think it's to get the only two cruiserweights on the actual roster on his way to a potential Jordan Devlin match.
With A-Kid?
Yeah, because he beat Ligero, didn't he, last week? Right. And now it's A-Kid next week.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, once he's done with the only two, legitimate cruiserweight on the roster, then he's got Jordan Devlin in his sights.
Up next, we had the very best thing on the entire damn show. It wasn't a match. It was a simple video package, wrapping up the entire feud of Jordan Devlin and Travis Banks. Why weren't they doing this a year ago? It would have made me care about the feud so much more then, instead of those rush job, falls. And then it was a good falls kind of anywhere match. The problem was on NXT UK, weekly television, wasn't featured on a big stage, any of that. So that's why people still aren't talking about it. I feel like this package was a case that could kind of remind you why this feud was supposed to be special. And if you'd never seen it before, I feel like it would have hit home because this was very well done and it got me somewhat more interested than I was to begin with for this match.
Yeah, very well done video package. I can't say I'm any more interested in seeing this again, but I'll wait, reserve judgment until next week because it's going to be good because they've got good chemistry together. And obviously, you've seen the video package. For anyone who's not seen their feud in 2019, it's always been consistently. I'm not going to say brilliant because it's not. The match they had in Blackpool the night after the first takeover, that was very good. The one that ended in I think it was a double count out or double disqualification, one of the two. And of course, their false count anywhere match in Coventry last year was, I think, the best they've ever done.
And they're bringing it full circle. The same building that match took place in. They're gonna next week.
Yep, for a title as well. So fingers crossed they can top it and carry on what they've done in the past. But as we found out with NXT UK, Travis, it's not always the case.
Yeah. This vignette also made me. I totally forgot that Jordan Devlin wrestled on SmackDown once.
Did he?
Yeah. I think the week after Worlds Collide or the week right before it, he had a match on SmackDown. I totally forgot about it. They showed his entrance on SmackDown in this clip. I was like, oh, no shit, that's right.
I might have to go and search that match out then.
There you go. Main.
I will watch these. I will watch parts of these shows, main roster shows, if there's someone I like on them, or if there's someone from NXT UK showcased on them. But apart from that, they can go and suck a dick.
Since the Smack is back and it's almost main event time, let's give this to him real quick. It was announced yesterday. Taped WrestleMania this year, man. My God.
And do you know what? From what I've seen on Twitter tonight, pictures that Norman Smiley's been posting, it looks like they are taping some sort of NXT special. I wouldn't have thought it was a takeover, but they have the white NXT takeover apron around the ring and the white NXT logos down the post. So maybe we're going to get... And they also had some audience, Travis.
It was like 20 people. I've never been so excited to see 20 people in the crowd.
So it looks like next week we may be getting some sort of NXT special. Maybe next Wednesday's NXT. They're pre-taping it tonight so they can then go and tape WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah, they're going to tape Mania Wednesday and Thursday.
Takeover matches.
Yeah, so I can see why they would tape it tonight since NXT would air live Wednesday.
Yeah, so maybe we're going to get some sort of takeover matches, something special from NXT after a week.
Either way, is this even going to be counted as a WrestleMania looking back like a year or two now? Is this going to be the one everybody took a pass on? Like, it's not really a Mania.
I mean, I know people are having to go at it and saying, like, you need, people in the audience, etc., etc. And, of course you need, like, the atmosphere. But at the same time, it's like, I wasn't interested in WrestleMania 36 5 weeks ago. Certainly not when I heard Goldberg beat The Fiend for the Universal title, etc. But knowing that it's going to be a different setting, it's going to be something that we've never seen at WrestleMania before, then I'm genuinely interested to see what it's going to be now. So as where other people have gone from like being interested in it in a 100,000 seat stadium to not being interested in it in the PC, I've gone from not being interested in a 1,000 seat stadium to actually intrigued to tune in and see what they're going to do with no one.
I'm also seeing reports that WWE are ultra. They're on like high security with spoilers being leaked this year because it's such close personnel. Like, if anyone does it, it's going to be an obvious mole leak from the company that sent out a picture or something. So I know it's on extreme lockdown. I'm hearing rumors that like there's going to be like severe punishments if that happens and they find out like talent leaked spoilers. Because that's immediately what I thought. I was like, man, it's going to be impossible to not see a spoiler on Mania for like 4 days. But then I'm like, wait a minute, there's no fans there. So how could there really be a spoiler? You know what I mean? So
it's going to come from the wrestlers or
right.
The very few people backstage. I mean, what punishment are you going to give them? You're going to send them to NXT and have them drop to Cassie's Ono week after week.
Just do the fucking thing live. I mean, it's already a shitty situation. I mean, why not just do it live, for Christ's sakes?
Do you think like there's still a week? Well, no, there's not. There's still four days to go as we record this before they tape it. Do you think they know what they're going to do yet?
They have absolutely no clue what they're going to do.
And that's why I don't think they want to do it live. Because they don't want to have a live camera on and just think, we don't know what we're going to do. Like, we don't know any angles. We don't know any interviews. Like, at least if it's pre-taped, so they can stop the taping after they've recorded a match and just have a genuine discussion. Like, right, should we do this next? Or, maybe let's get some ideas in. Instead of just like, we're live. We've got to get some on TV now.
Apparently Brock might not even make it because he lives in Canada. Poor Drew McIntyre. You talk about no one has gotten fucked over more in that company than Drew McIntyre this year as far as WrestleMania. Finally gets his moment, and look it's just all falling apart for Drew McIntyre. My God.
Yeah. I mean, if Brock can't make it, just how bad is that going to look though? Like, if he can't make it, then just cancel the match and have it at SummerSlam.
Well, if anyone can whack some politicians, I'm sure it's Vince McMahon. I mean, main event time.
Is that libel? Are we going to get taken off the air for that?
At this point, man, it's gloves off. It's the apocalypse, man. And if we're going out in style. Not smacked off our tits. We're not tits. I just feel like saying that quote without even really meaning what it means. Yeah. Main event time. Gallus taking on Flash Morgan Webster, Trent Seven, surprise partner, and Boomer Dave Mastiff. I love saying Boomer Dave Mastiff.
I think this was my favourite thing of the entire episode. Like, this was so good compared to what we'd seen, and honestly, they didn't even anything different. I think this showcased Flash Morgan Webster in that, showed how much better he is without the shackles of an actual, tag team behind him. He's better as a single star. Joe Coffey looked fearsome. The Dave Mastiff and Joe Coffey little interaction looked very good. And I think Flash Morgan Webster was the standout star of this match.
Yeah, I agree. Finally, leave it to Trent Seven to let the roof blow off the building. What a pop when he was unveiled.
Yeah.
The biggest reaction so far, hands down, and that goes back to the beginning of the episode. Why aren't they going the Trent Seven direction with the title? Right there is why they should be.
Well, we will see him in the Battle Royal, but obviously, we don't see him win. It's baffling, isn't it? So you've gone from Tyler Bate, who was uber popular, even over in Wales, and then almost like the title seat has cooled drastically since then. You'd continue it with someone as popular as Trent Seven.
I'm just waiting for anyone that listens to this in the comments or on Twitter to be like, well, you bury Cassius Ohno for his body, but you praise Trent Seven. Trent Seven has charisma and comes off my television screen. He doesn't look like the fucking guy that works at Quiznos. That's the difference for me with Trent Seven. He still has this air about him. He really does. He looks like an out of shape Nick Aldis to me. That's what he comes off.
Out of shape Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis of shape. Trent Seven. No, I mean there's my argument. That's why I can praise someone like Trent Seven. Just that star power. He really is. He's a top lad, and man, he's so good. Just the way he carries himself, he's got it down.
Which is another reason why he should be going for the title. But they've not thought that far ahead, Travis. And I think it's going to be at least another year before he gets a serious main stage takeover. Shot at the belt.
Sadly, I agree. I really enjoyed this match too. I agree. It was for the most part, most of the guys got their shine, but it was designed to make, the David and Goliath with Morgan Webster and the numbers game finally catching up to him. I hated probably the same thing as you did, though, the finish.
I mean, I didn't hate it because obviously it got Joe Coffey back on track, sort of.
To do what? What did it get him on track to do, though, was my problem with it. I mean, he just lost the title match at TakeOver. I mean, what are we building? Why are we still...
he's obviously just lost the match to Dragunov as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether they know where Joe Coffey's going, but I think they intended him pinning / Morgan Webster to get him to a point where they can now go, okay, this is going to be his next feud. Either, obviously not going into TakeOver Dublin because, there's nothing coming up that would even pass as a story for Joe Coffey, but going into the summer, maybe.
I think best case, if I was Joe Coffey right now, I think just keep getting yourself over and staying over. So, because in their eyes, they just want to make him an attraction at this point. An upper mid-card guy. Stay in that territory and he's got it made in the shade. Because they're not putting the strap on him probably ever, I feel like.
No. And without a mid-card title, then it's hard to see what effect he's going to have now.
He desperately needs a mid-card belt. I agree. No, I liked the main event, just wasn't a fan of the finish, and I liked this week's episode a hell of a lot more than last week's.
I mean, there's certain aspects of this week's I like, but honestly, at this point, this is where my suggestions come in. It's like nothing feels fresh right now. Very little feels organic for me, and I think the roster needs a reset. And if things are going to go the way it looks like they're going to go, with Dublin cancelled and possibly Bournemouth tapings cancelled after that, because I think they're scheduled for May the 3rd and 4th. So it looks very unlikely they're going to happen, because the United Kingdom, as of today, as we're recording, could be heading for complete lockdown if people don't self-isolate. That's come from our Prime Minister directly. So, it's very unlikely they're going to happen. So I think the best thing now would be if Dublin was cancelled, if Bournemouth tapings didn't go ahead, and if NXT UK wasn't on screen for maybe the next 2.5 months, I think that would give them a chance to reset the roster, new challengers, fresh faces, let some people go even, and just begin again. You could even, we just talked about the Joe Coffey thing. You could institute the Freebird rule and have him, in tag team championship scene with Wolfgang and Mark Coffey, if that helps him at all. If you're going to keep people like Dave Mastiff around, have him turn into a monster heel. turn Trent Seven heel if you're not going to do anything with him as a babyface. And just put the focus on the new stars. I think no NXT UK for 2 months, if not longer, would help the brand in the long run with resets and just doing something fresh. Because right now, Travis, for me, it's just grown very stale.
Well, unfortunately, you may get your wish, and not by their choice, for no NXT UK for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's sad. It's sad. And honestly, saying that, like, people probably think like I'm down on it. I don't. I love NXT UK.
Just want it to be better.
As a devout fan, it's like for something to click in management's minds, and for NXT UK to get better, it's not going to happen while they're still doing this. I think it's going to take something drastic, like 2 months away, no pay-per-view, no tapings, for them to really be able to reset that roster and say, do you know what? Here's a 2-month gap where we've got nothing to. Why don't we just, meet? Let's get creative. Let's plan the next 7 months out in these 2 months, and we've got a clear direction of where we're going down the line. And then when we've got a solid date for the next, if they want to go back to Dublin with it, fine. But at least they've got a clear direction of where they're going, and they can then start to build it capably on television without it. It just feels all over the shop at the minute, and it can't, going down the line, because people are losing interest. Ticket sales are dwindling even more than they were, and it's just not looking good.
And sadly, if 205 Live's any indication of how it'll be handled, they're not going to do any of that, because 205 Live's at a point, they're not even on like a TV deal now. They're on the network, and they still haven't given it a break. They've trudged it along, no matter what.
Yeah.
Sucks. I'd love to see Sid Scala and Johnny Saint come down just like that episode of Nitro of Bischoff and Russo, where they reset all the belts and they made them all give them the belts and everyone was standing in the ring. Just redo that.
Well, Joe, I don't want that, because I want someone to beat Walter for the belt. Obviously, after all of that, can you imagine? Like, Walter's gone on this run. He's been this monster, and it's like, just give us the belt back. You're not champion anymore.
Well, they did it to Sid. They didn't give a fuck about Sid when they did it.
Oh, are you seriously comparing Sid to Walter?
No.
I mean, reset the tag titles if you want. And not the women's title. Please, don't take it off Kaylee Ray like that. But, yeah, just at least, if you've got the time now, just at least think about, where the brand's going. Think of how much to the fans.
Think of how much more credibility that might add to Walter, though. Like if they strip him of the belt, but he wins it back anyway. Like, say something.
I mean, maybe it would.
Or you could do that with Kaylee Ray, maybe instead. I would probably rather do that with Kaylee Ray.
I mean, that would probably suit Kaylee Ray better. Like you can do what you want to me, but in the end, I'm going to get my own way. But I think for the next person to be, set, they need to pin Walter for the title instead of. What I don't want to see, Travis, is all the belts taken away and 3 tournaments, because I think we've had our fill of tournaments with NXT UK.
We don't need any tournaments anytime soon. What we do need to do, Dean Tennant, is get out our grade books and rate this week's episode of NXT UK.
I'm gonna go C plus.
I'm gonna go B. I don't think it really made me fall off at any point, and maybe that just speaks to how bad, because I rated last week's a P for pathetic, to how bad last week's episode was. Everything just felt so much better, I guess. Maybe it's a bias grade, but I got to go with my gut. I'm going to give it a B. I didn't really come away hating anything except maybe a booking decision on a finish like the Kaylee Ray match, or the utter dread knowing what's going to happen to Nina Samuels, even though I love seeing Nina on my screen. That sucks. But yeah, I like this episode. Kill me.
I mean, I think I'm more tired with it now. We know where it can be. We know how good it can be and how good the majority of talent on it can be. Yet we just not get it. It feels like we're on a downward spiral, and even WWE don't know where to stop it.
I'll simply say, too, it just speaks to how good the guy is. If Trent Seven wasn't on this episode, it probably wouldn't have even gotten a B-. That main event just added so much more for the episode grade for me.
Another reason why you should be in the championship picture. The NXT UK, we're doing your work for you. Yeah? Like, listen to this show, implement the changes, use the time coming up off well, and come back in the summer with something fucking worth watching.
Throw in the incredible Jordan Devlin and Travis Banks package, and the nice little stare down segment with Bate and Finn Balor. There you go. It was all right by me. Matt, one more time before we trudge back out into this crazy world around us. Where can everyone catch you and what you do?
You can find me on Twitter at The Perfect Tenant. You can purchase our official merchandise from unionsmack.bigcartel.com, and you can purchase my Undertaker book, A Trip Down Death Valley, to keep you company in this crazy quarantine time we are all living in. And I think, Travis, we've got a retro coming up this week. It's past the time, maybe, WrestleMania 14.
We're going back to the old Attitude Era. Yes, for WrestleMania season on the channel this week, look for WrestleMania 6 on Hibiki High Spots, and Union Smack is going back. We haven't done retro in a while. Check it out, WrestleMania 14. Matt, you said you hadn't watched it in a while. It's one of my favorite Manias. Let's see if it still holds up as, man, all the classics. Taka Michinoku defend the Light Heavyweight Championship on a WrestleMania. So much goodness. I don't know why that immediately came to my mind, but yeah, that's what's going down. Look for that in the coming week or two on the channel. Man, back to all this crazy crap going on in the world. I really am. This might be the saddest I've ever been at having to end an episode and going back to reality, not being able to, escape and talk wrestling anymore. It sucks.
I know. But do you know what? We've got so much coming up over the next few weeks, Travis, like retro reviews and Union Smack, NXT UK reviews, etc., that I think we're going to be putting out more content than we have ever before, and I think we're going to be talking more regularly than we ever have before.
We have nothing but free time, that's for sure. Thank you again, by the way, to Richard Holiday, MLW star, for coming on our MLW podcast right here on the channel, Major League Podcast of their own. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Check out all of our good friends over there, ProWrestlingJournal.com, our merch store. Once again, like Matt said, there's no reason not to have that Undertaker book under your pillow during the quarantine season. Until next week, on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD, right here on YouTube. Hit that red subscribe button right down below for all the nerdy goodness. Union Smack. Until then, cheerio, mates.